Welcome back. We're going to try to get the floor back in this thing completely today. At least all the panels laid in place. Might not get them all secured, but at least we'll have something to walk on. Maybe try to get the fuel tanks and seats back into it as well. So I'm just going to drill some pilot holes, and I've got this bit here. It's for countersinking for the heads for the screws so they don't stick up above flush with the panels. These little countersink bits do a pretty good job. You can probably hardly even see a hole there. Got all my holes drilled and countersunk. Now I'm gonna put some screws in them. So they come out, they're below level. So they're below flush, which is what I wanted, so they're not poking into our feet. So I think they'll turn out pretty good. I'll do the rest of them. Then I'm going to color a night. So I tried to put some of these stainless steel screws in to screw down my panels last night. I highly discourage you from ever buying this brand. It's supposed to be stainless. They're extremely magnetic and they're extremely weak. They kept busting off in the panel. 3 out of the 6 that I tried to install ended up breaking off in the panels and into the beams, so I had to end up taking them out and either punching them through into the stringers or taking a pair of vice grips and threading them out that way. But nonetheless, big pain in the neck last night, so I highly discourage from this brand of screw. So I'm just going to install a few screws into the panels just to hold it into place. Hopefully none of them break off like they did last night, and then I'm waiting some better quality screws to put the stuff in permanently. But I'm going to try to get the rest of the floor in. So these panels here are going to go in these spots. This panel sits here. I need to go up on top of the boat and get the fuel tanks to sit here. This panel that's stretched on the port side is going to lay in here, but it also has to slip underneath these walls, so I'm going to try to do it just with a bar, lift up the walls and get it to slip underneath. This side, all the rivets have broken free in the past. this side there's still 3 hanging on. I'm going to try to do it without drilling those rivets out. If I have to drill them out, so be it, but I'm going to try not to. It took me the time to walk and grab my tools to decide that I am going to drill out those rivets, because they broke out on this side. So obviously they weren't stainless steel rivets, they're probably just aluminum. I'm going to replace them with stainless steel so they don't break out again due to waves and stuff like that and crashing around. So I'm just going to drill them out and be done with it. Okay, so I knew that was going to be a challenge lifting from below it, because I have to sneak the panel past the driver somehow. So I think I'm going to have to figure out some other plan to get this board underneath it. I know it was pretty difficult to get it out from underneath there, and now with the fabric covering it, it's 2, maybe even 3 times as thick as it was before it came out. So I got some figuring out to do. So I just got a bottle jack set up with a board underneath my steering column, I guess. And I got it lifted up a little ways, because it's connected in this corner with some rivets. It's just tilting up like this, but I think I've got it high enough that I can sneak the panel underneath it. I repositioned the jack to the outside of this box, pumped it up, and it looks like I got lots of clearance now. I'm going to try to sneak this panel underneath this side. Well, looks like it was enough to get it under that side. I'll see if I can get it under here. Well, I think I'm going to get one more bottle jack set up for the other side. Make my life a whole lot easier. Okay, I got another bottle jack set up out there. Very close. Well, it's in there, but I don't know if I messed up my alignment on my other panels. It looks like I did. should maybe try to get this forward just another hair. Okay, I got the panel in there underneath the floor, but now that it's sitting up here, I don't have proper alignment here. As you can see, the rivet holes are out a little ways. So what I'm going to end up doing is hooking to this upright aluminum frame with this chain come along on both sides, wrap the chain around and hook onto the back side and to the front side. Pick the panel up with the jack and then pull it this way with the chain come along. As I release the jack down, I'm going to lose tension off of my chain, so I'll go in increments, go down with the jack, tighten the chain up a little bit, go down with the jack, tighten the chain up, and then go down. See if I can't pull this panel that way. Okay, I'm over as far as I need to be now. And that actually went a lot smoother than I figured it was gonna, so that's good. We are sitting a little bit higher, and that's okay. We'll just drill a new hole, drill new holes, and connect our wall that way with rivets. So that panel is in and underneath the floor. Going to stay right where it is. I've got all these screws put in place where my rivets are supposed to go when I get the proper rivets, and just for locator pins essentially, so my panels don't move around when I was setting this one in place. So now we can move on to the middle section, put our fuel tanks in, and the floor is just about done. So I got the tank in place. It's not bolted in or anything. I had to take a section off of that hose, so it's been in and out a couple of times, which is kind of a pain in the neck because there's this little plastic shield underneath to protect the tank from rubbing on the beams. So now I'm ready to put some bolts into it. Yesterday I got this tank in. Today I'm going to get this tank in, and then we're going to drill and prep those two panels for securing them down when I get my screws. This panel here doesn't quite fit anymore because of the overlap on the material, vinyl. I didn't quite compensate enough when I was putting them together, so I'm gonna have to lift this front edge, lift the fabric, cut it down about 3/8 of an inch, and then re-glue it down so it'll fit in this space. So I've got to take off 1/2 of an inch off of that bracket in order for my bolt holes to line up down here. No big deal. I'll pull the tank out. And I'm going to see if I can find some aluminum rod. I know I've got some somewhere in the shop, but this has come free. See if I can fix that real quick. Well, I got a couple welds on there. I remember why I don't weld aluminum for customers, at least, just for my own stuff. Terribly hard, terribly finicky anyways. I just don't have enough practice at it. And probably a dozen or more things I did wrong, I'm sure, but I just don't have the time or the quantity of projects to practice aluminum a lot. So I weld lots with steel, but my aluminum could definitely use some work. So I got the other tank in place, but with the original mounting holes, they're kind of over here. And when I position the tank where it's supposed to be with the original mounting holes from where the last guy placed it, it didn't quite fit up here even after I trimmed that front tab. The front of the tank sat up on the panel on the interior, which would have been fine, but I've got enough room that I just moved it back, and I'm just going to drill some more holes. It looks like it should have been there anyways. Judging from this one to there, looks like this tank was, starboard tank was a little bit placed a little bit forward in comparison to the port. So I'll just position it there. Hopefully it doesn't interfere with anything else. I should verify, but before I start drilling. of fact, I'll just do that right now. So there would be the tiniest bit of interference here, but I could easily trim that off to make it work. Everywhere else I think I'm fairly satisfied with its positioning. I think I'll drill some new holes and keep it where it is.